interesting in the paper?
No. The world seems to be full of trouble.
Sure it always has been.
Oh, I don't think we had the number of murders that there is these days.
Well, I suspect we did, but they weren't found out.
Yeah, could be something in there.
Any news on the raid of the Security Court office?
No. The police say they have a lead. That means nothing, of course. It says they got away with 150 grand.
As much as that?
So it says.
Sure, there's no honesty these days.
I agree. Oh no. I can't be doing with an afternoon of her snoring. Roger!
What?
You were snoring?
I was not.
I'm sure, how would you know you were asleep?
Well, I'm entitled to a little nap if I want one.
Nobody said you weren't. You were snoring, that's all.
There's no privacy around here. That's the trouble.
Ah, what lovely flowers. Where did you get them?
Yes, aren't they? A dear old lady in the market gave them to me. She just put them into my arms and she said, "May they bring you all the happiness in the world, my dear." You know, it quite restored my faith in human nature. There, how do they look?
Oh, Susan, well, aren't they just lovely? Oh, it was just what we wanted for that table. Oh, it makes the place look very homely.
I've just made tea. I'll bring it in.
You know, we could grow our own flowers here. It's a huge garden.
Well, I don't think we'll be here long enough.
When are we leaving?
I don't know, a couple of weeks?
You know, there's no reason we should move, really. After all, we couldn't find a better spot. Right off the beaten track, yet nice and close to town. I love gardening. I'd love to get this place in hand. What do you think?
Well, if you want my honest opinion, I think gardening is awfully dull.
Me too.
Oh, well, I thought you were asleep.
It only goes to show how wrong you can be. Here you are. Who's going to be mother?
There's a joke there, if only I could think of it.
Yes, bad taste probably.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do it.
All right, come on then, own up. Who's been thieving my gin?
And you're accusing us.
Well, what does this sound like? You can't have anything these days. Nothing's private.
Well, it's not me. Vodka's my tipple. You know that.
Well, what about you others then?
We've only just got in.
Well, somebody's nicked it. About 4 good tots. How long have you been back?
Who, me? Oh, about 2 hours.
I thought so. Let's smell your breath. Jesus, you smell like a bloody distillery.
Oh, jeez, I'm sorry, Vera, but you weren't here. And I was dying for a drop. I'll replace it. I'll buy you a full bottle tomorrow.
Look, there's no need to do that. I'm sorry I blew my top, but nothing irritates me more than petty pilfering. What's so funny?
You. We're all pilfers. Why this sudden holier-than-thou attitude?
You don't understand. Nicking things from shops is our livelihood. Nicking amongst ourselves. Well, that's dishonest and deceitful.
Well, that's splitting hairs if you like.
No, I disagree. I think Vera's right. We've got to trust each other. That's the strength of our association.
Exactly. Well, what luck with today's run? Have you got your lists?
Yeah.
Let's have them here. Not bad. Not bad at all. Probably should be pleased with this lot. Oh, hello. I seem to be one short. Where's yours, Bess?
Oh, I haven't checked my bag yet. It's still in my room.
Where to get it?
Oh, all right. I'll be back in a minute. Here, you hold my tea.
Yeah.
have to go.
Well, I must say, I'm worried about that one.
Oh, she's all right.
Well, I'm not so sure. Don't forget, one mistake can fix us all, and she's not the most reliable of people.
Especially if she gets on the red biddy.
She hasn't been drinking that again, has she?
I don't think so.
Well, I hope not. It's fatal. You can smell it for miles.
You can say that again.
At a pinch, you could say brandy or whiskey could be taken medicinally, but a nun reeking of methylated spirits. Now that's pushing credibility too far.
Personally, Vera, I think she's a menace. Couldn't you put her out to grass?
I've thought about it, but it's too risky. She's liable to go and get steaming in the pub somewhere and blurt out the whole issue. And can't you see the headlines in the Longford Leader now? Gang of expert shoplifters disguised as nuns, unmasked. No. Whatever the risk, it's safer to keep her with us. The devil you know.
I suppose you're right.
Maybe so, but in future she mustn't work alone. Someone must always go with her.
You know what, I agree. She always makes a mess of things anyway. Do you remember that jewellery job last month in Durkin's?
What was that?
Sorry, you weren't with us then. Right, Vera had worked out this master plan. I mean, on paper it just couldn't miss. I was going to sneak into the electric control room at a definite time and flip out the master switch. So that'd black out every light in the store. So during this time, Bess was going to come in with a fake set of rings in her bag and swap them out for the real ones on the counter. She'd like 15 seconds to do it in two.
Yeah, I suppose she forgot the fake rings.
Oh God, it was much worse than that. Oh, thinking about it, I could weep.
Well, what happened?
Well, Edith here got into the control room without any trouble, until she got challenged by some old electrician. So, she says she's lost her way and was looking for the loo. As he's directing her, she comes across sort of faint, as it were, and collapses against the switchboard, knocking the master switch into the off position, plunging the whole place into darkness. The old boy got so upset about her collapsing, he forgot to switch on for nearly half a minute.
So, she had all the time in the world. How did she muff it?
Well, you'd never believe this, but she never even made it to the jewellery department.
Couldn't you find it?
Oh, she knew where it was because we had the dummy run to time everything off the week before.
Well, what then?
She got into the television department and got so intrigued looking at a demonstration on colour TV, she forgot all about the time. Oh yeah, we can see the funny side of that now, but that lot cost us 500 quid. Someone already rang in the order a fortnight before we did the job. Well, let's have it here. Sue, make the list as I call it out, will you? One gent's wristwatch. One pair of vice binoculars. Not bad.
I thought you'd be pleased with those.
Two Japanese transistors. Sally likes those, they always sell well. One bottle of CK1. One Michael Kors handbag. What plastic handbag? What do you want rubbish like that for?
Sure, I thought it was genuine crocodile skin.
Plastic, 42 and 6 pence. We've got one silver bracelet, one gold bracelet. A packet of aspirin.
I bought those.
For what for?
To distract the girl while I whip the shavers.
Oh. 2 electric shavers. What's this? A packet of condoms.
What?
Well, have a look.
I don't know where they came from.
One Black & Decker drill.
That's the lot.
Not too bad, I suppose, for a morning's work. Then again, the binoculars are the only things that will bring the real money. However, it all adds up.
Ta.
Here, your tea's cold, I'm afraid.
Oh, never mind. I'll make a fresh pot in a minute.
Well, I better ring Sonny, I suppose. Helen, can I speak to Mr. Cohen, please? Very well, I'll hold. Solly? Vera, are you alone? Good. Well, how do we do with the last lot? Oh, cut out the spiel. How much lolly have we got coming our way? How much will you even get?
Jesus, he sounds hopping mad.
He is.
What's he saying?
Sure businessman I may be, but rubber? Never. Alright, Solly, calm down. Now how much? 170 quid! That lot was worth over 700. Well, alright then, we'll take 300. 270 then. No, 250, it's a deal. Well, when can I get it? Well, I can pick it up tomorrow. Where? Lyons' pub, Arda, 11 o'clock. Alright. Well, Solly, none of your fibres this time. I want it all in used wassers. Yeah, well, you'll be the death of me too. Crafty so-and-so. Anyway, we got him up a bit. So the share out this week works out at 50 quid a head.
That's not bad. Mark you, we've earned it.
Yeah, I'll give you that. If it isn't a real question, what do you do with yours?
I put it in the post office.
That's a bit dodgy, isn't it? They're liable to spec bigger amounts each week.
No, I've got 7 books all in different names.
Well, that's all right then. Mother Superior speaking, Stonegate Convent. What? You again? You must be joking. Jeez.
Who was that?
Solly again.
What did he want?
Reckons he has an order for a Mark 10 Jag.
I'd like to do that. Now that really is a challenge.
You must be mad.
Why? I could do it easy. My brother could get me a bunch of master ignition keys.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, will you be your age? For a start, how many nuns do you see driving around in a Jag?
Yeah, never thought of that.
The whole world will be staring at you.
I suppose.
Hold on a minute. She doesn't have to wear her habit, does she? She could do it in her civvies.
That's the point. Do you reckon you could?
Yes, no problem.
Alright then, we'll keep it in mind. I'll discuss it with Solly tomorrow.
How much do you think we'd get for it?
Well, I'm not quite sure what the market price is at the moment.
We ought to get at least 500 for it anyway. It'd be nice to be able to dictate terms, for a change.
I think we ought to plan this very carefully. I mean, if Solly doesn't play ball, we could be landed with the car.
Ah, no. Jean, your old man could flog it for us, couldn't he?
Yeah, when he gets out.
How much longer has he got?
Good behaviour, 7 years.
Well, I'm not so sure it's a good idea after all. Let's face it, we're all specialists in our own field. I think we'd be mad to branch out now we don't have the know-how with the outlets. Look, one slip-up could smash our whole business.
How?
What if Susan was caught with the car before she had the chance to deliver it?
Do you think I'd grass on you?
Well, I'm sure you wouldn't. But what if the paper's got a hold of the story? I mean, it's something unusual after all, you know, a lady car snatcher.
I still don't see what you're getting at.
Look at it this way. If Sue's photo appeared in the papers, it's possible that someone, or maybe someone who's had stuff stolen from them, might look at it and go, I know that woman. I think I've seen her before. But last time she was a nun. And it really wouldn't take the Narcs too long to put 2 and 2 together, and they'd be around here like a dose of the salts.
Well, that's positive thinking. Thanks, Edith. In view of that, I think we better scrub the idea.
The drunken with an old bag of weed like you is!
Alright, that's enough. The deal is off and that's final.
Well, it's 500 knicker down the drain, whatever way you look at it. It's a ton apiece. Oh well, you two say so.
Are we going to do this housekeeping job this afternoon?
No, it's a bit late. We'll buy the stuff this weekend.
Well, if that's the case, I'm going to get into something more comfortable.
Vera, when are we moving?
Moving what?
this place?
Oh, that. I haven't fixed the date yet. Why?
I was talking to Edith earlier about the garden.
What about it?
I'd like to take it in hand, grow flowers and vegetables.
You must be joking.
No, I'm serious.
Well, what do you know? We've a market gardener in our midst.
Oh, turn it up. Just because I'm a horse by profession doesn't mean to say I can't have a hobby.
No, I suppose not. You should forget about it, though. We're not going to be here long enough.
But do we have to go?
We'd be most to stay too long. Besides, we can't work this area indefinitely.
There's no reason we should work this area at all. We could establish our respectability by staying here indefinitely and making the point of buying everything locally.
Am I being very dense?
No, I think I see what she's getting at. She means use this as our headquarters and just work the areas right around.
Exactly. Sligo, Mullingar, Carrick-on-Shannon, Edgeworthstown. It's all really easy accessible by train. We could leave early in the morning. We'd be home in time for tea.
You know what? I think you've hit it. Edith, grab me the able from the mantelpiece.
I mean, if nothing else, it'd solve the trouble of finding a new place every few months, and you know, in time that's bound to start looking suspicious.
Yes, and we could establish our respectability here by helping out with jumble sales, bazaars, and collecting for the old folk.
Watch it, mate. Before you finish, you'll have us all taking our vows.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I think it's something we could work on.
Yes, the more I think about it, the more I think it could work. I mean, who's going to associate a hoist in Sligo with a small group of nuns 100 miles away?
Exactly.
Alright, let's look at the map. We'll see what way we're going to work this.
Well, I'd say we're here. So if we just hopped on the train here and just went into here and just worked our way around this edge bit.
No, that's too obvious. It calls for cut and thrust trades. Go north one day, southeast the next, southwest the next, and so forth. Then a break of a week, so there's no definite pattern. We could work it as a team or on a rota basis in pairs. Mind you, with all the extra travelling, it's going to be more tiring. But the risk of detection is brought to a minimum.
Well, there's one thing for certain. We'll always be guaranteed a seat.
Wait, what was that?
I think it was Doorbell.
You're right. Who the hell can be calling us here?
Oh no!
What?
There's a couple of nuns outside.
They can't be.
Well, I'm damn sure they ain't penguins. Have a look.
What are we going to do?
Will somebody make up some excuse? Maybe they'll just hear our duty call.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a duty call. I mean, look at them. They've robbed trunks of them and they've sent that taxi away.
Will you do it?
Okay, I can't take this to me.
Calm down.
We'll be down in a moment. We're just finishing our
Devotions.
Our devotions. Well, don't just stand there. Put your veils on, empty these ashtrays, and clear up the smoke. And for God's sake, tidy the place up. It looks like a bloody dust house.
Yeah.
I'll go and let them in and delay them as long as possible. Go on now, go.
Here, Vera! What are we supposed to be?
Nuns, you clock, nuns!
I know we're nuns. What's the order?
The Sisters of Benefaction, what you found 6 months ago.
Right, just as long as we stick to the same story.
Oh Lord, this is all we need!
Susan! Your lipstick!
What about it?
Would you wipe it off for Christ's sake?
Oh, Jesus, you're right.
Angela and Sister Rose of the Order of Magnus. This is Sister Jean, Sister Edith, and Sister Susan.
And you're the Mother Superior, I presume?
That is correct, yes.
Do you think we might sit down? We're rather tired.
Oh, of course. What was I thinking? Sit down and make yourselves comfortable.
Thank you. Oh, that's most gratifying. We've been on our feet since 5 o'clock this morning.
5 o'clock, you poor oaks! How about a nice cup of tea?
That's a real Christian thought.
Or something stronger, perhaps?
Stronger?
She means coffee.
Lovely. Coffee for you, sister.
Thank you. I'll go and make it.
I feel we are intruding on your privacy here.
Oh, not at all.
You see, we have a roving commission, as it were. We go out into the world for 6 months at a time, spreading the good word and sheltering wherever we can find a kindly roof.
They're hard to find too.
Oh yes, it's a miracle to find a haven like this.
If I may ask, how did you manage to find us?
We made inquiries in town. They said they thought there might be a convent out this way, as they had seen you people in town.
How very obliging of them.
Oh yes, they were actually delighted to see us. It appears somebody had stolen a valuable pair of binoculars from his window. He was most upset. He said, "The town needs decent people like you, not the thugs and the
Layabouts.
layabouts we have to contend with."
So we hired a taxi and after a lot of trouble tracked you down.
And you weren't very easy to find. The building can't be seen from the road, and there's no sign on the gate.
No. Well, you see, we haven't been here very long ourselves. We've only recently taken over this place and haven't quite done all we wanted to do.
It's very peaceful and most secluded. Are you here permanently?
Oh, I hope so.
Don't interrupt, sister.
Sorry, Mother.
As I was saying, our own plans are rather indefinite at the moment. See, ours is quite the new and different order, which means we have to travel around quite a lot. Our finances, of course, are rather limited, and we only recently managed to rent this establishment cheaply as it's been on the market a long time. Whether we can afford to stay on remains to be seen.
That sounds really exciting.
Oh yes. Life is quite a trial, isn't it, Mother?
Mother Superior speaking, how can I help you? I should probably discuss that with you tomorrow, Father.
What a lovely view from here. Come and have a look,
I
sister.
can't quite possibly answer that, Father. Sigh, you stupid git, get off the line. Yes, yes, and blessings upon you too. I must apologise, but the Reverend Father is most persistent.
Oh, that's quite all right. Isn't it, sister?
Oh yes.
We have those in our order too. I was just saying what a charming place this is. We shall be very happy here.
How long were you contemplating staying?
Well, as long as
2 or 3
Days?
months.
Months?
You don't mind?
Of course not.
We couldn't accept your charity, of course. We would be quite willing to pay maybe 30 bob for each of us per week for our keep.
Well, it all helps, doesn't it? Sister, I think you should take Sister Bess back to her room, please. I think she might need to lie down again.
Very well, Mother.
Come along, sister. Come along.
What do you think you were doing? Your teeth and hands to yourself.
We have company, you idiot! We have company!
Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh, peace be with you.
unbalanced. Shall we be charitable and say rather eccentric and unreliable? We have to watch her all the time.
Poor thing. I do feel very sorry for you.
Oh no, she's a good worker, but as I say, one cannot rely on her.
Your coffee, sisters.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what, seeing as you're staying here, why not take them up to your rooms and freshen up as well? We can take your trunks up for you later.
That's a real Christian thought, Mother.
Take them up, Sister Edith, to a big room on the east wing. Then come back down here as I have other duties for you.
Will you follow me, sisters?
Thank you. Will we be down shortly?
I don't believe this. This isn't really happening to us, is it?
I must say you handled that marvellously.
Well, maybe so, but how long can we keep this up?
Not for 3 months, and that's for sure.
Get those other two down here as quickly as possible. Solly, now you listen here very carefully. Do not ring here again whatever you do. I'll explain everything when I see you tomorrow. Oh, shut up about your flaming jag. We're not doing the job after all. Yeah, well, we've got troubles of our own too, mate. Oh, get lost.
Why the hell didn't you warn me?
Why didn't you look, you stupid cow?
I know.
Will you keep your voices down?
Nobody told me I had company.
Well, we didn't know ourselves. Oh, for God's sake, why am I whistling? Well, that gives us about 10 minutes.
Well, I wouldn't bank on that. You know, you weren't very clever out there, were you, sister?
What do you mean?
Well, you put them in a room next to the one we've got all of last week's loot stashed away in. Do you know what? You're absolutely sound. I've locked the door behind me.
Good
Take
for
the
you.
key.
Well, what's the plan, Vera?
Well, first and foremost, they mustn't rumble us.
Ash, we could hold our own for a few days, no bother.
Yeah, a few days my Aunt Fanny. They're planning on staying for 3 months.
What?
Well, that's their idea, but we've got to find some way of getting rid of them.
We could say we can't afford to keep them.
They're paying 30 bob towards their keep.
I should think that big one had eaten a tenner's worth on her own.
Besides the point, right now we've got to find a way to hold her up. And that means no smoking for a start, and you best have got to lay off the liquor. I can smell the bloody gin from here. Somebody give her some peppermints.
I hate peppermints.
Well, you learn to love them. Cram them into her mouth if necessary.
All right, if you don't mind my throwing up.
You take the risk.
Well, what's the plan now?
Our rooms. Get every piece of clothing out of sight, especially those fancy pants of yours. Make the beds and don't forget to hide your cigarettes.
I can't give up the bags just like that, you know.
Well, you'll have to. We all have to. While they're still in the house.
Well, all I can say is I'll be having a sneaky drag in the toilet like we used to at school.
Well, that's up to you, but watch it. Right, come on everybody, let's clear the decks. And God help anybody who leaves anything lying around that could give us away.
I think I'll stay here.
Oh no you won't, you're our greatest handicap.
Oh, I feel as sick as a dog.
Well, you know where the bathroom is, come on. Finished?
Yes, we thought we'd have our coffee down here. Are we disturbing you?
Oh, not at all.
We're going to sort out some clothes for a jumble sale.
Lovely. We'll help you.
Oh, I wouldn't dream of accepting, especially as your guest here. Why don't you sit down and have a rest? It won't be very long.
Well, if you insist.
Oh, I do. Come along, sister.
Well, Sister Rose.
Don't give me that sister lark anymore, Angie. As it is, you never let me get a word in from the moment we arrived.
Well, I know.
I fed an Egypt sitting there.
Well, I know you and your language. We couldn't take the risk.
Why come here in the first place?
Because it's the perfect cover. Where else would you find nuns only in a convent?
They're bound to find out.
Not if you keep your big trap shut. They're simple people, and they only see good in others.
Well, they'd have to have flippin' good eyesight to see any good in us.
All we have to do is be careful.
Another thing, where are we going to store the stuff we make?
There are 2 huge cupboards in our room. I've got the key. We'll keep them locked. And sure, who's going to look anyway?
Don't like it. We'd be better off to get a place of our own.
Hey, what's your step?
It's all right for you. You're a non-smoker. If I don't have a drag, I'll bust.
Put it out, you fool. They'll be back in a minute.
Not on your Nelly. There'll be ages over that long. Look, if it makes you feel any happier, you keep watch at the door. I'll smoke up the chimney.
Oh, all right.
God bless you, Sir Walter Raleigh.
I've been thinking, Rosie.
Well, if it's anything to improve my image, you can forget it.
No, I know how to get the stuff out of here.
I'll buy it.
I saw an old black Mariah down the back as we were coming in.
God, don't mention the word.
They must use it as their transport.
They're welcome to it.
I'm sure they wouldn't mind if we borrowed it once a week. Once we filled up the tank for them.
You mean use it for jobs?
No, to drop the stuff down to the fence at the end of the week.
You must be joking.
No, it'd be dead easy.
All right, brains, convince me.
All we have to do is pack our stuff into brown paper parcels, and if anybody asks where we're taking them, is to distribute amongst the needy people of the parish.
It's not bad, Angie, but supposing they want to help.
Oh, they can't do that. It's a very strict rule of our order that we're not allowed to work with members of another order.
Got to hand it to you, Angie. I'd never have thought of that.
No, I know.
What do they've anything worth making here? All those silver plates and stuff.
Don't be a mug, Rosie. That'd be the first thing to get us caught.
There's nothing worth taking anyway. What about that shop? We stuffed to ask the fella for this address.
Yeah?
He's got 2 German cameras on a shelf in his door, just waiting to be taken.
You never learn, do you, Rosie? That place will be hot for weeks to come. Oh, for heaven's sake, haven't you finished that fag yet?
Okay, I'll finish it later.
Now, the way I see it, we could work all the towns in a wide circle. It'd mean having to take the train, and it'd be a lot safer. And we could use this as our headquarters.
Be easier to work this district.
I know, but it'd be safer not to. We need to establish ourselves as authentic here.
Or what?
Authentic.
What are you talking about?
Or to put it in simple terms, we need to establish ourselves here. Do an odd job here and there for the people, and give them a hand and nod time at a jumble sale.
Oh no.
It would be a great cover.
Maybe, but have you ever done one?
Not personally.
Well, then you don't know what you're talking about. In my youth, I belonged to a drama society, and we did them every 3 months to pay for the shows we lost money on. I'll tell you, they're killers.
We don't have to do more than a token gesture. Just something now and then, just to establish ourselves.
Well, as long as you don't let this do-good bug get hold of you.
Let's settle then.
I suppose so.
this time?
Splendid. Sister Rose and I would like to help you.
Oh, that's all right, sister. We can cope. We always do.
Nonsense. We insist.
Well, we'll see nearer the time, shall we?
Sister Rose was just telling me she's an expert on the subject.
I'm afraid you won't be very comfortable in your rooms. They are rather damp. That's why we don't use that part of the house.
That won't affect us. We're very hardy. Aren't we, sister?
Very hardy. We live rather simply here. You see, food is so expensive.
Yes, we were just discussing earlier the possibility of growing vegetables in the garden. You see, as it is, we barely exist. I'm sure you will be more comfortable elsewhere.
Yes, I think you're right.
Not at all. Spartan living helps to strengthen one's faith. And if it's biscuits and water for you, it's biscuits and water for us.
Very well then, if that is your wish.
Oh, it is. I can't tell you how wonderful it is to have landed in such Christian surroundings.
Manners.
That would be the peppermints.
Peppermints.
Yes, it's the peppermints. Bess has terrible indigestion. Peppermints always give poor Bess the hiccups.
Oh, my dear, I do feel very sorry for you.
Oh, don't worry. She'll get over it. We'll see to that.
I suppose about now, Mother, you have prayers.
Prayers? Oh, yes.
Splendid. Sister Rose and I always have prayers about now, and we'd love to join you.
Of course. Oh dear. With all this tidying up, I seem to have mislaid my book.
That's no trouble at all. You smile.
Shall we all kneel? Holy Mary, Mother of God, hear our prayers.
Well, Vera.
Well, what?
Well, what are we going to do? It's been 2 weeks now. We haven't done one job. It's hopeless.
Well, that would be you and your idea of us establishing ourselves in the local community.
We had decided to do that in the first place.
Yeah, but not something every day. Every ICA for miles around has latched onto us for free slave labour. I can hear them in their committee meetings now. The chairperson says, "Who can we get to help?" And some old tart staggers up from the back and says, "I propose we ask the nuns." And it's carried unanimously in a flash. Hello, Stonegate Convent. The Mother Superior? I'm afraid fate this afternoon quite tired her out, and she's retired to bed for the evening. I'm sorry, I can't make a decision on that. Okay, I'll let her know you called. Goodbye. Another bazaar next week.
If I get another cake stall, I will emigrate.
Yes, and they keep giving Bess the bottle stand of all things.
Here, have you noticed something about her?
What do you mean?
She's changed. She's gone all holy or something.
Yes, now that you mention it, she has been a bit different lately.
She loves these do's. Do you know, last night I heard her canvassing for more.
No.
Honest?
Well, I always knew she was bent, but that clinches it. Clinches what? You gone all pure. I can't help it. I've sort of seen the light. It's done something to me. I get a real kick out of helping these people. Do you know, I don't think I could nick another thing to save my life. Well, that's it, Vera. Something has to be done and quick.
I know. Look, Sonny rang me yesterday and he's doing his nothing. Wants to know what the hell is going on. Says he's way behind with his orders, and if we don't find something and quick, we're going to have to find another fence.
Apart from which, we haven't earned a penny in 2 weeks now.
Well, if you only had to have let me rob the Jaguar, we wouldn't be in this situation.
No, definitely not. Look, we've got to come up with something in right now. Some way of getting rid of these 2 old toot bags.
Well, that's what we keep saying, but how? I mean, if nothing else, I couldn't stand another week of bread and soup and sardines as some sick treat.
I agree. Look, we're just going to have to find a way in right now. Oh God, here they come. Right, come on, let's go to my room.
Okay, they're in their rooms.
Thank heaven for that.
Hey, I wish you'd watch your smoking. I could still smell the smoke in here, and them sure have been gone all day.
Hard luck, Angie. I'm not going without me fags as well.
As well as what?
Me grub for a start. And all that flippin' missionary work we got stuck with in the last 2 weeks. Do you know what I was landed with this afternoon?
What?
I'll tell you. Raffling a pig. I could see it all brown and crackling on a dish with an onion in its mouth. Beans, roast spuds and apple sauce. Me feet are killing me.
Yeah, well, I didn't think we'd have as much to do.
Well, one thing's for certain. If we don't find work soon, we'll be skint.
Yeah. Do you know, I've been thinking, Rosie, I wonder is there any way we could get rid of them out of here?
What, for instance?
Oh, I don't know. I was saying, if the place was haunted.
Come off it. That wouldn't work. Should they get over that by exorcising it or something?
Exorcising it.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, there must be something.
Whatever it is, you better think of it fast. My knees are killing me from all these prayers. God, what I wouldn't do for a pint of Guinness right now.
Hello. No, she's upstairs. This is Sister Angela speaking. Hey, wait a minute. Is that you, Sully? You were looking for Sister Vera. They're in the same racket as us, using the same cover. And I thought, oh, never mind. I'll ring you back later.
Angie, what's so funny? What's happened? Pull yourself together.
That was Sully.
What's funny in that?
He wasn't ringing us. He was ringing them.
Them?
Yes, this lot, the sisters of benefaction.
You don't mean.
Yes, they're as bent as a corkscrew. They're not nuns at all. They're in the same racket as us.
Well, the hypocrites.
We've all been killing ourselves for the past fortnight. All this charity work.
Well, I don't see it's that funny.
I suppose not really. But don't you see? We've got 'em cold. They still think that we're nuns. we know they're criminals.
Have we?
Oh! Now let me think for a minute. I've got it.
What?
Don't you see, Rosie? We've got them over a bar. We've got a nap hand. We can put the block on them till it hurts.
I still don't get it.
Oh, Rosie, you are so thick, I often wonder what keeps your ears apart.
Well, if it comes to that, you're no eye painting yourself.
Skip it, Rosie. We're set. We're made. Call them down here, and we'll all have a nice, cosy little chat.
What are we going to chat to them about?
Never mind. Call them down.
I hope you know what you're at.
I do. Put the flag out, you clock.
Oh, yes!
Yes, it is a question of leaving this place. Shall we all sit down?
Oh yes. Sisters, make yourselves comfortable.
Now, what I'm going to say may come as a shock, but I feel I must say it.
Of course, of course.
We have all been very comfortable here. Very comfortable indeed.
We only did our humble best.
In fact, we have all worked together admirably.
Well, it's been a very pleasant experience altogether.
I had hoped it could continue, but then again, all good things come to an end.
We're only sorry to see you go.
Oh, I think you're mistaken. We are not going anywhere. No? You are.
What are you talking about?
It has come to our attention that you ladies are not what you appear to be.
I beg your pardon.
It would appear that you ladies are not nuns at all, but a gang of thieves. A gang of common shoplifters.
And you approve of this?
Oh yes, undisputable proof.
Aren't you ashamed of yourselves?
That's enough, sister.
And what are you going to do about it?
Well, my first instinct naturally was to contact the authorities. And then I thought how valiantly you had worked over the past fortnight at all the different charities. And I couldn't have it on my conscience to see you all committed to prison.
You mean you won't grass on us?
Grass?
Tell the police.
No.
Well, that's decent of you.
Yes. I searched my conscience for some way, I searched my heart for some way in which I could salve my own conscience. And in turn, you could atone for your sins.
And what did you decide?
Simply, that you return the money that you earned from your nefarious exploits.
Well, how could we do that?
Oh, I don't mean to people you robbed. I mean to people who need it more.
I don't follow you.
Our order is very poor. A substantial donation.
In cash?
Naturally, sister. And seeing as you won't be needing this building anymore, you can turn it over to us as our headquarters.
That's blackmail.
That's a very ugly word. Shall we say atonement?
We won't do it.
Do you want the police to know?
Of course not. Of course not.
Look, we've got to have time to discuss this amongst ourselves.
Oh, there simply isn't anything to discuss.
Oh, Jesus, she's on the bottle again.
And
shut up, Bess!
I can't help it. It's so funny.
What's so funny?
That self-righteous look on your face.
I beg your pardon.
And to think you had the ruddy cheek to blackmail us.
What are you talking about, Bess?
Didn't you know? They're in the same line as us.
What?
They're common criminals just like us.
How do you know?
Oh, Chubby Chop's over there getting get away. Have you ever seen a nun with a pound of nicotine on her fingers before?
Oh, for God's sake, Rosie, I told you about this before!
So I thought I'd go and pay the room a little visit and have a look in their cupboards.
You couldn't, they were locked.
I picked them in a hairpin. That's criminal. Blimey, look who's talking. You should see inside. They're stashed with loot, from top to bottom. I even nicked the camera for myself.
Raven Nit, Angie, this is all your fault. I told you to flog the stuff right away. Now look what's happened.
How long have you known about this, Bess?
Oh, the second it were here.
Do you think they might have told us before?
It's the first time in me life I ever was held to be respectable. So I thought I'd carry on a little bit longer, just for a giggle.
Well, that's torn it good and proper.
Yeah, looks like a stalemate, doesn't it?
One thing I still don't understand. How did you manage to rumble us?
Sally rang just now.
Even so, he would let on.
He didn't. Angie recognised his voice. You see, he fences for us too. Hey!
So, tell me, Angie, where did you learn to talk so posh?
I used to be a school teacher. Why?
Well, with a mouthpiece like you, we can't lose.
You mean...
We joined forces.
honest?
Sure. We've got the perfect setup here. I mean, we both use the same fence. We could do with 2 extra hands. It'll cut the work. And those of us who aren't out on the job can keep up the respectability front by doing social jobs in the parish. What do you say, girls?
Yeah,
fair
sounds
enough.
great.
Is it a deal?
It's a deal. Let's celebrate. Let's get stoned.
I'll get the gin.
Any beer?
Enough to see you off, sister.
Good on you. Hey.
Who on earth?
I think that was the door.
Oh no.
What?